Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing well. This is episode 5, I believe, of tracking my progress with Apex Trader funding, of becoming funded, staying funded, and trying to earn some payouts from these accounts. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and a reminder that trading is difficult, so make sure you give yourself some grace. This is what you can expect from all the videos within the series. And before I get into my trading activity the last 2 days, this is a friendly reminder of all the Cyber Monday sales. By the time this video goes up, you'll still have some time to be able to take advantage of these sales if you haven't already. I personally think this is the best time of the year to stack up on accounts, whether it's to build out your prop firm portfolio, if you're ready to take the next step to get more accounts or to, build leverage, or also it's a great time to test try other firms that you've been wanting to test try. It's not very often firms do deep discounts, so that's why I think this is a great time of year to do it. And yeah, thank you in advance if you do end up using my code. But now jumping into what you're here for, the trading activity. So last week for Thanksgiving week, it was overall very bullish. Price had found its place of consolidation, its place to find support, and since then it's just been going on the up and up, and we are trying to push, or NQ is trying to push its way back up. So ending the week of Thanksgiving, I wasn't sure if I was going to trade anymore. On that Friday, I just opened the charts and was just taking a look at what opportunities were available, and it just so happened to work out in my favor that there was opportunity available. In my last episode 4, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to have a video to upload because I wasn't sure if I was going to trade. But even then, I did find a trade, and I figured let me just throw it into today's episode, put the two together, just make it a lot easier for everyone, including myself. So the setup is right here. We had a little bit of consolidation as the market opened. Even though these wicks are very, very big, very, very volatile, huge range within them, I didn't trade any of this. I started to see we had a nice little demand area being built out right here, although it's a pretty ugly wick. So waiting from here, obviously we had to tap into it and a bullish closure. So even though it's an ugly wick and it's an ugly range, it's kind of part of the strategy here, so it's a matter of just executing. So that was the first opportunity. Second opportunity is when we actually had a second tap back to retest it and still closing bullish. So another entry right here. You can also consider this a rally-based rally going for a 1-to-1. So although it was again very rangy and price was moving very wicky for me in this tight range, it eventually did hit TP, and that is all that matters. So that was last Friday. And so coming to December 1st today, the Santa rally is starting, baby. Let's go. So, with this rally, I'm not sure if we're going to go back to all time highs. I'm not sure how the year's going to end. Obviously, no one can predict that. However, today offered some really awesome opportunity for shorts and longs, whether it's a pullback or it's a full retracement or whatever you want to call it. I was able to capitalize on these two major trade ideas alongside a few other smaller ones. But essentially, volatility was still continuing to be high. You can see here we had a nice push into a key level for me personally. This black horizontal line is a key level for me. So I wanted to go ahead and wait to see what was going to happen from here. And as we started to have rejection underneath it and close bearish underneath it, this to me was a great time to enter into a short. So after we had the bearish second candle created with the tap back into part of this resistance or support level, that is now resistance, took a step short, and that was the first trade, major trade idea. I think this was one of the best setups of the day because of the confluence of the key level alongside the 5-minute supply, and just a nice little retracement and retest back of previous demand, as well as the imbalance that was created here. Then I also took another trade that was more premature, and with the premature trade, I ended up taking a loss off of it. Did about 3 micros. It just really wasn't worth it, and at the end of the day, it actually worked out. So the trade idea was again premature. I entered into a long position after we created this. Once we had this bullish closure, I was anticipating another bullish closure, either a tap back into here and then bullish closure to go higher, but instead we clearly have a bearish closure. So after we had a tap here and a nice clean rejection and showing strength to like push it down, I exited for that loss, and then re-entered again after we had a bullish closure, following the simple 1-to-1 risk to reward, following the same supply and demand setup that I tell you guys about, and plus a reclaim of the key level was important for me. So having that drive through, I was just expecting price to continue higher. So took short for the pullback right here, still having higher lows, higher highs, and trying to get that reclaim of the key level, and also on the higher time frame, higher highs, higher lows. So then took a long further trend continuation back to the upside. So best setup trade ideas for me personally on Friday and then today, with a few other trades in between for both wins and for losses, but overall profitable on the accounts. So you can see here the 28th made around $74 give or take, plus also on the new 6 evals that rebuild for me that I told you guys about from episode 1. And then today, the first, I was able to snag a pretty decent amount of profit on my funded accounts, 14 funded accounts here. And then for the 6 evals that are the same down here, was able to go ahead and lock in the rest of the profits necessary to pass the accounts. To be fair, I did size heavier on these. I said in episode 1, I'll say it again, a bit more aggressive on my evals, and I'm totally fine with that. So, with that being said, past the 6, gonna activate them tonight. So I'll have a full set of 20 funded accounts with Apex, which I have not had a full set of 20 with Apex in a long time. So, it's both nerve wracking and exciting at the same time. But the main thing is, I don't want to drive pressure into my head. I know people say pressure makes diamonds, but for me, sometimes personally, the pressure causes more stress than I need it to, create, and that makes it harder for me. And yes, you can quote unquote build a diamond from that, but I would rather be smart about what I'm doing with these accounts and not allow myself to put more pressure on my shoulders if that's going to make it worse, if that makes any sense. So I think pressure like builds diamonds or creates diamonds in a lot of other scenarios, but in my trading particular with these Apex accounts, I don't want that pressure. I want to be smart about what I'm doing, especially if I'm trying to lock in a payout from each one. So anyways, this is the overall end result. This is current balance as of today, December 1st, end of my trading session. I explained all my trade ideas from the last 2 days. And so, yeah, what happened again? Holiday week was really bullish last week. Start of December, the rally has began past 6 more 50K evals. So, fully funded with Apex by tonight with 20 accounts. For today specifically, started trading around 7:15 Pacific Standard Time. Price moved into the key level. Overall bias is bullish. Waited for price reaction at that key level as I explained, and then I followed the pullback. That is a typo. Then I flipped long when price showed a strong bullish reaction to have the higher lows and higher highs on both the lower time frame, holding above previous resistance. You can see right here we had that pullback, right? For that pullback on the shorts I entered, strong bullish closures indicating that the previous resistance is now becoming support. So anticipating a move up, and then now again, key level alongside previous resistance here is now becoming support for price to move higher. Not sure if it's still going up right now at the time of the recording, but at the time of me trading, that's what it looked like. So game plan continues to stay the same. If stop loss and TP is too wide, scale to micros, nothing new about that. Number 2, scaling into positions is fine, but limit the amount of trades per day. I have not been using my third-party copier. I've been doing individual prop firm trading. So with Apex, do my Apex accounts in one go. If I copy trade all of them, which I have been, and then for trade day, I will go ahead and trade all the trade day accounts by themselves. For my MyFunded Futures accounts, trade that by themselves. So just doing each firm basically individually, and then if I could decide to copy trade the accounts within that prop firm together, then I'll do that. But I'm not doing the third party copier where all of the firms with all of the accounts are at the same time. I've found that from the last month of trading and using that software, definitely 50-50 on both sides, but I've found it's been creating a little bit more pressure. And how, as I explained a few minutes ago, the pressure can build diamonds, but the purpose right now for me isn't to try to force myself to become a quote unquote diamond. The point of me right now is just to find consistency and build little by little. And I think by doing it this way, it's reducing that unnecessary stress and pressure and helping me build little by little the way that I've been wanting to and like planning to. So we'll see if I continue to re-pick back up on the third party copier, but after the last couple days, I've been kind of chilling on it. So then the final third point of the game plan, continue to stay in this whole whatever it's born filter and have that help my emotional regulation. Today, still the same thing, which is great, as I've been saying the last couple of videos. Steady mind, steady emotions, steady regulation, everything very steady, regardless of a losing trade, regardless of the winning trade, regardless of how much profits I've made on the day. If I'm green or red, it doesn't matter. I'm just kind of trading how I should be trading essentially, and allowing myself to just take it easy, and not think too heavy into the green or the red or the profits or the losses, and just essentially keeping it boring, keeping it straight to the point. So desired outcome, stay funded with Apex now that I have a full 20 accounts with them. Insanity to me still. I'm honestly very happy about it. I should probably add that into my win of this week, which I feel like that's huge because, again, I haven't been funding with them with 20 accounts in a while. So I want to give myself a little pat on my back for that and for being able to lock it in. So now it's just a matter of staying funded. I want to have the static drawdown amount of $2,600 profit per account. I'm slowly but surely getting there, right? Of the 14 accounts, we're at almost $1,800, about 800-ish more dollars to go before I meet the static. And then I think things will be hopefully a little bit more smoother when it comes to fighting the intraday or fighting the new drawdown type and stuff. So the statement I'm going to say for myself in every video stays the same. I can do this. I am doing this. I will become funded and get paid out. I am funded and I'm going to get paid out. I have a strategy that I will follow. I have a strategy that I am following. Area of improvement to continue to not enable myself to spiral, and also to not let the action of posting online impact the way that I trade, focus on my lane, and focus on my journey. So today's the first Monday, and I'm back to streaming on YouTube for free on the 2nd, which is Tuesday, and then on Thursday, which would be the 4th, if my numbers are right. So back to streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll see if I pick up on Wednesdays, but for now, the official schedule is still Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yeah. And then another area of improvement I added on here, and this is also kind of like a reminder, basically, to remember to stick with micros on volatile days and also when emotion starts to creep in. So it's not that today or the last couple days I've been letting emotion creep in. That's why I'm using micros. But it is more so on the volatile days where I have been sticking with micros, but there's those moments where like I'm adding in a mini contract. So if I'm in one micro, maybe I'll throw in one mini, or if I'm in two micros, I'll throw in one mini, or no micros and I'm throwing in one mini. Um, it's, it works when it works, but I also don't want to create fear within myself. And with fear, I can easily develop the emotional part of fear. And I don't want to have that play into my trading. So this is a reminder to myself to know it's okay to stick to micros. It doesn't matter if it's not, $500 profit and it's only $70 profit. But what really matters is being able to preserve my capital, being able to manage my risk well, and to keep these accounts for as long as I possibly can. And if I take a mini trade and it goes against me on a really bad volatile day, then I can easily blow these accounts, and that's the last thing I want to happen. And it can also create like tilt. So it's okay to stick to micros on volatile days, and it's definitely okay to stick to micros on emotional days when that emotion starts to creep in. And then area of strength is, as I've been doing, accepting my risk prior to entering trades and holding very steady throughout my entire session. Like I said, steady emotions, steady thoughts, steady mind, steady everything, and it's been really great. And then finally, a really awesome win for the day, I'd say, is the quick recognition of my setup. It's been really, really like eye opening and confidence building when I've been able to see my setup form, and more importantly on the days where I'm extra patient and let those setups form and then let the actual trade entry appear for me, like even better. But just sticking to one part of that statement, just the recognition of the setup and letting it form or watching it form, it's been so great. I think that this is a huge win because it continues to build that confidence I need within myself, within my strategy, and within me being able to read price. I think there's a lot of different strategies in the world, whether it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, whatever. But I think the fact that I'm finally sticking to a strategy and really taking my time to learn it and really allowing myself the time and grace to learn it instead of trying to say like you need to learn it or you're dumb or jumping strategies left and right. Now I'm at a point where I'm actually sticking to a strategy that works for me, and that is a huge win. I'd say no matter the green or the red on the chart, that's a huge win. Sticking with it, and then now it's just continuing to show up, continuing to have consistency with using it, which I have been doing, which has been awesome. So yeah, that I really want to give myself flowers for that area of strength because that is huge. That is just huge. So, yeah. But to go ahead and wrap it up, that was the last 2 days of my trading, and then this is the Cyber Monday sale for Apex specifically. I know I showed you guys the whole list of all the firms, but this one's only for Apex because this is my Apex series. So tonight this whole sale is going to end. 80% off the first month, $70 resets, 1 day pass, and then if you do pass your eval, it's a $40 lifetime fee for all account sizes except for the 100K where it's a $10 lifetime fee. So it's a really great sale. Again, I think it's the best Apex sale they've had of 2025, especially if you are a 100K trader. I prefer the 50Ks, so do what you will. There's nothing wrong or right, it's just whatever works best for you. But this is Apex's sale and it ends tonight. So if you want to take advantage of the $40 lifetime fee for all the account sizes or the $10 lifetime fee for the 100K account, you would need to pass actually today's the first. By tomorrow is the second. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is when everything ends. So you still have a good 48 hours to get everything going. But as always, I do appreciate y'all if you do end up using my code. Do appreciate y'all for taking the time to watch my videos and supporting me along the way. It really means a lot. And the fact that I've been able to, you know, meet so many amazing people in this community, and also for so many people in the community to share their journey and share their words and insight and all the things. It's been really beautiful to see it all kind of play out over the last few years. I'm going to hit 3 years as a content creator in January of 2026, and I just passed 3 years as a futures trader. So there's just been a lot of reflecting and a lot of gushy mushy moments, and especially with Thanksgiving that just passed and now it's Christmas time, just so much warm feelings and thoughts that have been going through me, and I'm just happy to be here and happy to be, with you guys in this journey. So thank you guys so much, and as always, I wish you all nothing but the best and the most success in all that you do, and I will see you all in the next video.